Your Humanities Half Hour is brought to you by the Northern Marianas Humanities Council, navigating the human experience together.
Hapaday, Tiro, and welcome to your Humanities Half Hour. I'm Catherine Perry. Education, community, leadership, friendship, achievement. These are just some of the words associated with the service club we're talking about today, Soroptimist Int'l of the Northern Mariana Islands. And joining us for this chat are the President, Maureen Sebangiol, and the President-elect, Tania David. Ladies.
Hi.
So nice to be sitting down with you.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, appreciate it.
You know, just trying to say Soroptimist is a little bit of a tongue twister.
Yeah, it's an awkward word because they actually made it up.
Oh.
So
Okay.
they coined together a Greek word. So again, it means best for women is their translation. Tanya's heard me say this before, but mentally the way I translate it is sorority, like sisterhood, and
Okay.
optimism, which is like meaning you look for the best and you try and bring out the best in people and in our community. So that's kind of the way I think about it, is more that sorority, the sisterhood thing.
Okay, so who wouldn't love a club like this? What are you guys all about? We've seen some news in the local media about what it is you do, but what is really the core mission of Soroptimist International?
It's really developing a system that's best for women and girls, and to improve their status and their financial well-being in society, so that they can be productive individuals of our society. In a nutshell, that's what it is. There is the basic mission statement and all of that, but simply put, it's us coming together as women and supporting women in our community to better themselves.
Yeah.
You were talking about how this word came about. How did the actual organization come about?
So in 1921, in the San Francisco Bay Area, specifically Oakland, California, apparently the women of that era and in that area were told that they were not welcome to join the service organizations. So Masons, Rotary, they were all male oriented and male dominated, and the women were told that they weren't welcome. So kind of like the best women, it's like, fine, I'll do it myself. And so so that's what they basically did. So they started their own organization. And again, the primary mission, so it is an international organization. So Soroptimist, the primary mission is and focus is, it's a global volunteer organization, and it's all about empowering women and girls through education and trades training in order to achieve like financial equality, right? And that's the whole thing, is because there's no place and gender equality and all those things. So the mission and the themes that we go with Soroptimist tie back into the United Nations themes for women. So about gender equality and safety and all those kinds of things. So that's our focus here, is again supporting women in a different way that we can, and have fun doing it.
Well, fun fact,
That's the important thing.
yes, and the fun fact to that is it was actually started by a man by the name of Stuart Moreau. He actually was on a hunt trying to set up organizations, and he came across a secretarial company, thinking that he was going to start another organization there, and find out it was owned by women. And so it was kind of a snafu that he started that, and eventually on October 3rd of 1921, the first president of Soroptimist, Violet Richardson, was nominated, and the trend just kind of kept with October being the charter commencement through up until this year. So Soroptimist started ideally with a man's point of view intended, but as we progress through, we understand equality is important, and inclusion is very important. And so that really set the gateway to where we are now, trying to get other women to come on board, because it's important that we maintain the legacy,
So how did Soroptimist get started here, and who's in the leadership now other than you guys?
Tanya is actually one of the charter members. So I
Since Ever Since? She's one of the Since Ever Since?
Yes.
2013, yeah.
She's one of the originals.
2018?
2013.
2013,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, so
okay.
last October we celebrated our 10th charter event.
Congrats.
Yeah. So we're a relatively young club, and I was mentioning before that we're also pretty small compared, I think, for the impact that we have and the monies that we've been able to disperse. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. It's literally like a dozen women. I don't think we've ever been more than 16
Right.
active. Yeah.
But prior to this charter, to give kudos to the women before us, my boss Marcy was in a version of Soroptimist. They don't necessarily call it NMI chapter, but and it included her and Felicidad Gumero. That's the only two I remember.
Roberta Guerrero as well.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So yeah,
that was in
really,
the 70s or 80s.
Right,
yeah.
right. And so it was actually, there was presence here, and eventually it died out. So we reignited with the assistance of Guam.
Wow,
Jessica
okay.
Castro from the Guam region. She came out, decided to get some women together and like, hey, let's get this going. You need your club back on Saipan. So we actually just reignited from 20 years of being in hiatus.
And supported by Bank of Guam.
Right.
I think of you guys, that you and Jessica as being our godparents.
The godmother. I'm just kidding. Just
Nice
kidding.
shirt there, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it was.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think one of the things that I think is amazing is the diversity of our membership
Right.
now. I think initially when Soroptimist was begun, the 100 years ago, it was sort of university women. It was professional women. So one of the things that we're trying to disabuse people or make them understand that that's no longer a requirement.
Right.
You could be a stay-at-home mom and join us. It's not. There's no degree that's required. There's no professional level.
Do you have to
that's
be a woman to
required.
join?
No, you do not.
Right.
Men are welcome to join. They just seem to find themselves drowned out in meetings. No.
It's all the giggling.
Perhaps.
all
But
the
yeah,
giggling.
so we have had a couple of men that have come to meetings, but usually it's only one meeting.
Yeah. They just want to see what the fun is all about.
Yeah. Okay. Can't keep up with the fun.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that you guys probably get the most publicity about here in the Marianas is your scholarship program. Tell us more about that.
So the Live Your Dream Award is, I think last year they had 97% of all the Soroptimist International of the Americas clubs participated. So it's a really big event.
Okay.
So, and I have numbers if we like numbers. But anyway, so for the Live Your Dream for the global impact for the last fiscal year, $2.9 million was dispersed.
Wow.
2,174 women were given awards, and over 40,000 volunteer hours were given for that.
You know what I
And-
love about this conversation is it's really broadening my understanding of the organization. Like, we see what you're doing here locally, but it's really part of something that's impacting women and girls around
Yes.
the world. That's
Exactly.
amazing.
It's bigger than us.
And
yeah.
again, it's like part of it is because 80. So of the women that received the awards, this is worldwide. 81% went on to complete their degrees. 93% increase their self-esteem. So everything we're doing, not only achieving a degree or a trades certification, but it's self-esteem, making somebody feel seen and heard, and that's always a valuable
Supported, right, yeah.
commodity. And then 96% of the women are now living in safe environments, of which 56% are survivors of domestic violence. So a fair number of the women that do apply for Live Your Dream Awards have had tumultuous situations. So in order to apply for our Live Your Dream Award, you have to be you have to be female currently. I think they may be changing that at some point, but right now it's you need to be female. You need to be financial head of household, which means that wherever you're living, whoever's contributing to the household finances, yours is the largest proportion. You have to be pursuing your undergraduate or your trades degree. If you're going for a master's or a PhD, that's not the award for you. And again, you have to demonstrate a financial need for it. So basically, we're giving a cash award so that the woman can continue her educational goals and is fulfilling that dream. And we've had really high success with our past winners. I think we've given over 20 women awards, and the awards add up to over $30,000. And again, it's pretty amazing when you think about how small we are. So this year we had a record number. We had 23 women apply.
Applicants, yeah.
Which is almost double what we had previously. We were able to give out 4 awards for a total of $3,500.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, it was something we really are proud of doing, yeah.
Right, and then the application is an indicator, right, of the need, because now, you know, more people are seeing that they're having to go to school, and a lot of times because they're also working, their financial position is a little bit tighter, right?
Yeah, it's
Obviously,
precarious, yeah, sometimes.
The economic situation in the island is everything's expensive, and so to see our applicants double tells us that people are in need of these funds. And normally we would only have like 2 to 3 winners, and this year we were like, hey, let's just spread it out. We can give more this year, let's do it. And we did. So it was we were so happy to see us give more to more winners. I mean, ideally it's not the same amount. You obviously have a tier winners, but you have you have the first, second, but I think this year we did like 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, we did, yeah, so we were able to do $1,500 for the top winner, $1,000 for second, and then third and fourth got $500 each.
How do you decide, is there any other criteria, like do they have to write an essay or do an interview?
So they actually have to go into the portal for Soroptimist International of the Americas, and they submit it. They should have at least 1 letter of recommendation from somebody else. They have to answer questions about financials and, you know, expenses and that kind of stuff. We don't verify it. I think one of the things that's best about the way that we do it is that we have 3 non-Soroptimists that are the judges. It's up to us how many we have. We've had as many as 5 before. But again, even if we know the person, we're not influencing it, you know, so that makes a big difference. And then the other thing is that our past winners, like Leah Murphy has a PhD now.
Wow.
I can't remember, I don't know her last name. So Mercelin's gotten her bachelor's.
I think she's
working on her master's. And also Rachel. Ashley Rachel, I can't remember her last name. So when she won her award, she was a single mom trying to get her early childhood education degree. She completed that. She worked at Dan Dan Middle School. I ran into her outside Joetown, and with her husband and her new baby, and she now has her master's degree and is working. I think she's part of the management for the WIC program here.
Oh, nice.
So these are like women, you know, in our community that because they received that cash award at the right time in their lives has really let them get that success in their education.
That must be very fulfilling for you guys personally, especially the fact that you're not getting paid to do what it is.
I don't know, it's pretty joyous. I think we had a lot of fun this year, right?
Well, you know, you get the camaraderie of women meeting once a month, and then you also get the opportunity when we have our Live Your Dream Award ceremony to see the impact firsthand. And so we all leave feeling a little bit better that we touched somebody's life, but ideally it's the best part is them going out and being successful. Like how Maureen ran into a winner, that is like things that we never really see much until later. But those moments is why we do what we do.
And again, it's a cash award. It's not a scholarship,
right?
Because like Mercelin, when she won, it was post one of the super typhoons, whichever. No, but she used the money to buy tarps for their roof until the roof could be prepared. And somebody's like, you know, I'm like, well, how can you study when you got water dripping on your neck? You know, so again, we don't ask if it's putting Pampers on your baby's butt, if it's putting tires on your car. Another previous winner used it to buy a laptop because she'd been sharing a tablet with her middle schooler. So just like I said, just some things like that can just make that much of a difference.
And we all know how difference.
And we all know how stressful, you know, feeling financially fraught can be.
Right. Yeah, especially with kids.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you get any feedback on how the women respond to being supported by other women? Not just women, as you said, can join the Soroptimist, but our group here is right now. Like you said, is there? Has anybody articulated to you that it's inspired them or encouraged them, aside from the cash award?
Yeah, I think, like I said, even the people that have applied, they've said that it made them, think about things a little bit more. And also, I think sometimes just even the application process, like nobody's asked them these questions before. So I think that there's some introspection that goes on in there as well. And, like I said, we've had people that have had really, come out of really horrible situations, but it's not necessary that you have like a completely traumatic backstory in order to win. And it's, again, it's being able to articulate why this is important to you. This year's winner is what you had alluded to before. Her husband is the one that stays at home with the kids. She works part-time, and she's a mother of 5.
Right. It's amazing.
And she's working hard.
She's working hard, and still her goal. She's never lost focus that she wants this bachelor's degree to change, to meet her own goals, but to change her whole family's life.
Yeah.
Her speech, her winning speech at our event, was actually very touching because she really emphasized the importance of her husband. Like, she didn't forget. She didn't I did this myself. She really without him, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. And so that's the kind of thing where we come back and we circle back that home support is just as important as financial support, because you can have all the money in the world, but if you have nobody helping you with the kids, right, how do you do your homework? How do you help them with theirs? And so listening to her really said the diversity of our winners is not necessarily single moms, but also moms with spouses that have that home support. And so we really are trying to make that an all-inclusion mindset, that doesn't matter your situation, we want to support you, and if you win, we hope that you would put that money towards lessening a burden in your life, whether it's school or whether it's the tires or whether it's a laptop. We just hope it helps.
And like I said, and just knowing that your story is worthy, that people want to hear your story, they want to know about you.
What is the timeline for your application process? Is it coming up so that
the
people
portal,
who are inspired by this?
The portal will open on August 1st.
Okay.
Judging has to be completed by November 15th, and then it's up to our discretion when we have our Live Your Dream award ceremony.
Okay.
So a lot of times it just goes on what other events are being held on.
It's
like, can we sneak this in between this and that?
So this year we had it in January.
No, February,
yeah.
Which is the latest we've ever had it.
Right.
Okay. Well, let's talk more about what you guys are doing after the break, shall we?
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll be back after this break.
Hafaday, Zantiro. I'm Leo Pangilinan with the Northern Marianas Humanities Council. We'd like to take a moment to thank our generous sponsors who have made possible the many programs in our community like this show. We couldn't have done it without them. And if you value the work we do and would like to make a contribution to our efforts, we ask that you consider making an in-kind or cash contribution to the Northern Marianas Humanities Council. Any amount is appreciated, and donations of up to $5,000 qualify for an educational tax credit. We appreciate your partnership and support. Sidus Maasi, Olomai, and thank you.
Welcome back. We're chatting today with Soroptimist International of the Northern Mariana Islands, and with us is the current president, Maureen Sebangiol, and the president-elect, Tania. David, shall we say, the dynamic duo powerhouse of Soroptimist. Okay.
That works.
At this moment.
So we talked about the scholarship, which I think most people know you for, but you actually do a few other activities, correct?
Yes. So since I joined the organization, we're, I guess, sort of sponsors, or we affiliate with Guma Esperanza, the women's shelter here on island. So what we do is every holiday, so at Easter, we prepared 12 Easter baskets and delivered them for the children that are associated with the shelter at this time. We're getting together the stuff now for Mother's Day gift baskets, and we call them Mommy's Own gift baskets. So it's mostly like, the way I think of it is things that you don't have to share with your children. so
there's no chocolate in there.
There might be chocolate, but that would be it. But there's nail polish and manicure set and loofah and going to be body wash, tea and teacups. So we're going to put those together together. Unfortunately, right now they're full, so we're going to have to prepare 11 baskets. So again, that's indicative of what's going on the island and the world right now. But so like we do back to school for the students. So we give them, last year I think we had, unexpectedly, we had 47 kids that needed back to school stuff. So we just, sort of fundraised, and we got them gift cards from I Love Saipan, and we do at Christmas, and we take them things at Thanksgiving. So again, it's one of those things that these children are, especially for the kids, they're leaving a chaotic home situation. Otherwise, why would the mother have had to flee? So it's just like kind of reassuring them that there's other people in the world and there's other things in the world. So that's one of the things that we do. So we're so Caradot is someplace that we put a fair amount of our energy and support. And then lately, so last year, one of our longtime members, Donna Crum, came to us with a plan. She'd been talking to the guy that was the head of the Salvation Army, and I had heard from somebody at the hospital that a newborn was sent home in an old frayed CHC towel because the family had nothing. And so he wanted us to partner with him. So being the women that we are, we waited around 3 or 4 months, asked for several meetings, nothing happened, so we decided to do it ourselves. So in partnership with D&Q International, we were able to come up with a concept, and we call them baby laundry baskets. So we have small little baskets. D&Q donated newborn Pampers, wipes, bleach, laundry soap, softener. Then as a group, we bought those little hooded towels. They're so cute on babies. Hooded towels, a couple of onesies, included a roll of quarters so they can do laundry. So we're partnering with the social workers at the hospital. So when they have a family that's in need, they'll let us know, and then I drop off the gift baskets at the hospital for them to disperse. So during this year's Live Your Dream Awards, we had a separate raffle that all the money just for the raffle went to replenishing our laundry baskets for the babies. So we were able to, just that $1 a piece, $337 we raised for that part of our program.
Wow. So we had like a silent auction as well during our event, and then we had a photo booth, and every part plays a part in trying to fundraise for certain events like the laundry basket. But again, we go through these gift givings through, people reaching out saying, hey, what can you do? And a lot of Maureen's lead in these events have really kind of cemented our yearly gift giving, from Mother's Day to Easter to back to school to the newborn babies. And so we're always like, okay, are we having to scale back a little bit, and then something comes up and we're like, okay, we'll just do it. And so it's like, you
it's like, well, they need us.
They need us. It's because as mothers and as women, we understand that it's hard to have kids and not have. If that makes sense.
It absolutely does. So you've talked a little bit about where you get your funding from, but can you kind of clarify it for us? Like, where does most of your funding come from, and how can people support you?
Actually, most of our funding comes from our Live Your Dream event,
right,
and from the ticket sales from that. We do try to have some fundraisers, but we've had in the past we've had Margaritaville. So you pay $25, $35, and you come and drink limitless margaritas. Designated driver encouraged. But so again, I think we're not as vigorous as we could be with our fundraising, but I think part of it's because we empathize too much, and it's like, I hate asking somebody to buy a ticket or spend their money on this or that. So we're just trying to figure out what we're going to do. We've done some jewelry making. So I like to make bracelets and earrings. So the next time we'll do that is for Halloween. So we'll advertise and we'll do, so like you come pay $25 and you can make as many earrings and jewelries as you want with, Halloween based crafts and stuff like that.
Oh, I get it. You guys are just having fun and using the money to do good for people, and socializing at the same time.
Guilty.
I mean, this is I understand now. Okay.
Well,
and we would love to have more people join us, because this is really us. This is what we do.
And to go back to your question is, how can you support us? Really, we don't have to have an event. We don't don't have to have live your dream. If you want to support and you want to donate, we'll take it. You know, anything that you're thinking can help our organization, help the community, we'll take it. And so we're never in a position, like, again, it's like, do we want to ask to donate? No, we want to like show you what we're doing so you can be
spontaneous,
inspired.
Yes.
And previous year, not this year, but previous year, one of our local businessmen had a second marriage, and on the wedding invitation it said, in lieu of gift, donate to us. And he's based in Guam, so we were incredulous.
Wow.
And that was like over $4,000 we received from their wedding.
Very grateful. Very grateful to all the donors through the years, all the supporters, whether it's in kind or monetary. We're grateful for whatever we can get.
And one of the things I think that sets us apart that I've heard back from people that donate, because you get the same people that are have solicitation letters all the time. We actually send them thank you notes after the event.
Somebody still does that nowadays?
We do.
Maureen, she's a leader.
But they're just those little things that, like I said, just makes it set apart. So that.
What do you guys get from being a part of this organization? I mean, it's meant to empower, to encourage, to uplift women. You are women.
I think it's, to a certain degree, just to, as my professional life winds down, I think just to have a purpose, to feel like I'm, my mom was a school teacher and I was raised with that. You should make an impact in the world. I remember going camping as a very small girl and complaining to my grandmother, why do we have to clean up the campground? It's not even our mess. And literally the words from her mouth was, wherever you find yourself, you should leave it better than you found it.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the way I was raised. And that's, like I said, I have the time, sometimes have the energy. No, mostly have the energy. And, it does make you feel good. And like I said, and when you see the impact you have on somebody, when, I had the social worker from the hospital tell me, the mom started crying when she saw that roll of quarters in there, and that you understood that sometimes it's hard to find the money to do the laundry, let alone the products to do it, then you know that you've made a difference.
I like the meetings. I like the meetings because you walk in there and you want to say there's locals, because there actually is. There's people who are technically not Chamorros, but they've lived here all their lives. And so you get into a room and we have Americans, Japanese, Russian, Chinese, we have a diverse group of women sitting in there all speaking the same languages. What can we do to make our women and our girls and our community in general better? And it's always coming up with these ideas. Maureen's always like, we can do this. And we're like, Maureen, again? But we understand that is what drives us to, we feel so good afterwards. It's like, okay, it was worth, Maureen, pull it back, no more. And she's like, no, we have to. And we're like, okay, we'll do it, Maureen. She's a great leader. She's been leading us for years. And I think she's really set the bar of what I need to meet as far as her leadership. Really, it's a high bar.
But then, I've done it before, so I'm sort of a recycled president, right? But no, I'm so excited that Tania's coming in, because she has a different point of view. And so I think she's going to lead us in a slightly different direction. And there's power in that as well. We don't need to just keep doing the same thing. We can, with because you were so involved with Girl Scouts and all that kind of stuff. So again, you're bringing in a different mindset and skill set. So I think that's actually basically what comes down to, like you said, for the meetings is you come in there and, oh my God, I'm seeing my friends, and oh, by the way, we're Soroptimists.
Oh, we have a mission.
What were we doing here?
What's the agenda?
Yes, we've had many of those.
Guys, I want to thank you for really such a delightful chat today. Can you send us off with your contacts, number one, and any final thoughts before we go?
I really want to end with what she said regarding leave the world a better place than when you found it. That really just touched me, and I feel like that is exactly what we need to do as individuals, as women, as people in our society. We need to do that. Leave it better than the way we found it.
Yeah, I agree. And again, I think a lot of it is, like you said, making people feel seen and heard.
Right.
And, acknowledge and make sure everybody knows that their story, no matter how dramatic or undramatic, is worth hearing. Right. It is, you are of value.
That's right.
Right.
100%. Where can people find you, get in touch with you if they want to join?
We do have a
support?
Facebook page, and they can, contact me directly. My email address is my first name, Maureen, Maureen, the number 2, CPR, @gmail.com. And I'll respond usually within that same day.
Sure, mine's just TaniaDavid57 @gmail.com. Can't miss that. So
That's
for the-
personal. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much
island,
for
it's already
all
out there.
And you don't know them. Yeah,
It's fine, it's fine. We use our resources to communicate.
Just find them at the store. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thanks, Kat.
Thank you for giving us this platform to share our message.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
Thanks.
Our guests today have been Maureen Sebangiol, President, and Tania David, President-elect of Soroptimist International of the Northern Mariana Islands. If you have been inspired by our chat today, please reach out to them. This has been your Humanities Half Hour. I'm Catherine Perry.
Your Humanities Half Hour has been made possible in part by a major grant from the National Endowment for the Humanities. Democracy demands wisdom. Any views, findings, conclusions, or recommendations expressed in this program do not necessarily represent those of the National Endowment for the Humanities. For more information or to share your thoughts, contact the Northern Marianas Humanities Council at nmhcouncil.org or on social media at 670 Humanities. That's 670 Humanities.